If you're a young farmer starting out, and which I was many years ago, frequently time is an issue. How do you generate off-farm income while you're starting up your farm operation? And winter wheat, although people focus on the conflict of time at harvest time, it really is a way of extending those valuable hours that you have, because you're seeding less in springtime, you're more timely, and you've extended your harvest period. I used to say more weekends of combining time because we're starting combining so much earlier.
Winter wheat's a good fit in our crop rotation because it allows us to spread our workload. Manpower is a finite resource, as well as equipment. So we would rather use our equipment more days in the year, but maybe avoid the bottleneck situations where we have a number of acres to do and not enough equipment or manpower to get over it in a timely fashion. So with winter wheat, we're able to start seeding in the fall time and start spraying and harvesting, especially on our acreage. We have one combine for 6,000 acres. We're generally not able to do all of the harvest ourselves, so we do get some custom work done. But the longer my harvest season can be, the more of it I can do myself, and that's a direct benefit to my bottom line.
From a harvest perspective, you can cover way more acres with one combine and with one seed drill. So we were able to, the more acres of winter wheat that we planted in the fall, we found we were able to do more acres of other crops in the spring with the same drill. And then with the combine, we were able to stretch our harvest out quite a long ways. So we would harvest for about 80 days from start to finish, with a few breaks in between. But from starting the winter wheat at the early part of the season and all the way to flax at the end, we were able to do a lot of acres with one combine.
I think that in the spring, that seeding window seems to be becoming tighter and smaller and more narrow. And if we just have 1,000 acres less to seed in the spring, it makes the remainder of our crops to be seeded a lot less stressful.
When you look at our overall farm plan, you look at investment of machinery per acre, we're able, because of spreading out our seeding and harvest seasons, we're able to get more acres out of less machinery. That means our capital input can be less. Or if we choose to make a higher capital input, we have more time to do other things besides farming, which is a big benefit as well.
One thing about winter wheat is you certainly don't need any unique or different equipment to seed the crop. Whatever you have on your farm right now will work. The one thing you might want to invest in if you haven't already is a straight cut header, because it does lend itself well to straight cutting. One other thing about winter wheat that has worked well on our farm is we get it combined earlier, and the elevators are usually fairly empty at that time of the year. And if you so want, you can deliver a lot of winter wheat bushels at that time. So it helps with the on-farm storage too.
Once I've figured out the way of addressing seeding a crop during the middle of harvest, then that was the most difficult part to fit into my my overall work plan. But that did contribute to extra time in the springtime, and the last few years have been extremely wet and extremely late. So if crops in the ground already in the fall time, that's just that much less work that I have to do in the spring.
And there's a number of young growers out there who are spreading themselves fairly thin. So the more acres you can do with the limited asset of equipment you have, the more profitable your operation is.